Happy Saturday, everybody. How's everyone doing? Well, I don't normally do this, but we got to. It's all happening a lot quicker than I thought, and we really need to take a look about what's about to happen. Big shout out, everybody in the chat. Thanks for joining me today. Um, I just want to talk crypto. I want to talk Bitcoin. We'll get to Ethereum. We want to talk about Bitcoin. And I think the whole emphasis that has to be put here, the simple fact of where you are accelerating down into your major targets, and it's unavoidable. There's just nowhere else to go, nowhere else to hide, and we got this. Let's go to regular candles, set it up. There you go. Just cracked under 19,000, trading 18,908. Where do we go from here, folks? Where do we go from here? 886, inevitable. One second, one second. Thank you. Great. And got a whole bunch of things going on technically. So let's get real with it. We are, I would say, now 2/3 of the way through with a whole lot of numbers that have to get hit. And let's just trace it out again. Just start from the beginning. Let's connect dots because I've been doing this for a while. And I absolutely think when you realize MW formations, you get 4 of the 5 points. You have to respect the harmonics. You have to respect the levels. I've been really clear on the whole alignment issue. And I don't think there's any other metric technically that will get you to the right level other than the harmonic ratios, the combination of harmonic ratios, as well as the clear patterns that have materialized before and are coming back again. Let me hit this 1 second. So take a look. It all started way back when. Here we go. Go back to 2020. That's your X point, folks. What are we looking for? We're looking for an M shape. Just tracing out your extreme cycle high to cycle low, and then you get your B point. 55.3%, 0.553 of that XA leg. That gets us a bat by definition. But not only because of the 55% at the B point, but we know the ABCD configuration, your 886 levels, all of that, 11,000. I mean, just 11,000, please, 11,000, hear me. Really surprised to hear certain things. People say certain things. They're going to buy more. They're going to nibble. Maybe a frantic low. Please, no. Please, no, folks. Please, no. Listen, this is my life. Technicals are the greatest. My evolution of technical studies led to harmonic patterns as, for my money and my life, the greatest manifestation of technical accuracy, bar none. Bar none. That's why I did it. And we are in our third bat pattern of the last 4 or 5 years, probably 5 years. Look, here you go all the way back. There was the first July 10 on a weekly was your first point of any bat pattern taking shape, especially as measured by harmonic pattern collection. So for those that are not with it, please get over to Harmonic Trader. This is the only thing I'm going to say about it. You become a basic member and then you study and you take advantage of the free TradingView trial, 14 days. And for everybody, I'm saying right now, take 14 days If you want 14 more after that 14 days, just send another note to support. Okay, enough on that. Just get with it. That's why we're looking at these structures as our fundamental framework. And now what we have to see is total completion, confirmation, absolutely, because a harmonic pattern without confirmation is just a series of drawings. I mean, where is there an opportunity here? Maybe at 11,000, but not here, not anywhere here. No, 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 please. Now, this is the BAM phenomenon. We talked about this earlier in the week of why this is so critical. Basically repeating myself, but sometimes that has to happen, especially with what's going on currently. There's your B point breakdown. Here it is. When you have your X, A, B point, and what's at that ratio? What's the B point? What is your X, A, B ratio? That gets you the beginnings of your 4 of your 5 legs here when you get to the C at a 42%, and then we go down to the 886. And this, once that cracks, that CD leg BAM acceleration is usually quick. The A to B leg, let's just count bars. And this is a very easy way for everyone to understand how long is this going to take. Because your basic A, B, C, D measurement should be equivalent in terms of duration, where let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 11, 12 weeks to the low. Where are we now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's somewhere between there. 12, 13, coming down now. And this consolidation, okay, of B to C was, it looked like it could get going. Looked like we were going to get some kind of bigger reaction. I was looking for a 5-0 up here. We didn't get it. And for me, the failure at 37,000 was the last straw. And then, of course, 32, you were done. With no other possibilities but 11,000. So I cannot stress enough that if you're in crypto, you're in this space, you still have money on exchanges and in maybe USDC or stablecoin, and you're thinking you're going to start taking shots, and you're here and you're taking the time to listen to me, please respect MW formations, XABCDs, where our 886 now, what's that look like? Inevitable? New lows right now? New lows right now. New lows. Coming down here. 5-minute, love this. 5-minute bat pattern right here. Failing. Already failing. We can see it. We can see it fail. It is absolutely, this is a once in a decade move. So for that, yeah, you have to understand this is difficult sledding. Let me go over to total crypto before I even get into Ethereum. The total crypto market cap is the same deal. And then I'll look at some questions. But total crypto market cap, go to the weekly. The weekly, you see the patterns repeating. This is just finally playing catch up. 886, if we just draw the minimums, and this is one of the other questions I've received recently is, Scott, where do we exactly measure? Do we measure all-time move? Do we go all the way back to, say, the very beginning, 2000, and just do all-time, basically $1 to 3 trillion, and then do your 886? Maybe as a secondary, like monthly measurement. I'm satisfied with just going off of the 2020 low Look at your B point, 52%, and then down to the 886 at 400 billion. Probably need to see a couple of these go absolutely zero bankrupt Luna-ish. 1 second. All right. Thank you. So big shout out to everybody in the chat watching. Thank you for joining me. Again, if you guys like to get notifications on my streams, I'm normally only streaming Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at about 12 noon. So today's the first time I've ever done this for obvious reasons. Appreciate it. I really think that you are going to see a capitulation much sooner. And the other thing that I talked about, interestingly enough, is the uncanny cycles that have been pivoting on June 21st, September 21st, December 21st, March 21st, the equinoxes. Let me just take this off. For total crypto market cap, Bitcoin's the same. This is not any kind of astrology or anything like that. It's more a coincidence of what has been happening throughout the last year or two. But you don't really need to do anything other than an empirical observation of saying, there's March 21st, where's June 21st, and then just look at every one of these cycles. June 21st a year ago, amazing. Go to September 21. Right there. Another pivot low. March. That was right there. Little pivot low with a nothing follow through. Now we go into June. The other crazy thing is that these all basically sell off into that 21st date. I don't do much timing. I do believe that the measurements for the patterns basically will include the time element, but I do think that with the way this is falling apart, continuing to fall apart, you're halfway through the capitulation, maybe again 2/3 of the way through the capitulation, that could drop hundreds of billions of dollars in the next few days. Hundreds of billions. We've already done it. We've lost $1 trillion in market cap in less than 6 weeks, folks. I just, and this has been a part of the framework we have outlined for a while, going down to these levels. But again, I won't do anything. I mentioned this a week or two ago. We did that. We did the stream with Mitch. I see Mitch is in here. Big shout out to Mitch Ray. Big shout out to everybody in the chat. Mr. Lodak, how you doing? Mr. President, Ziggy. What's going on, everybody? Adrian, 83 Madden, thank you. Eric, Martin. So go back and look at the stuff from a month ago. Go back and look at what I was saying. I was on vacation in April, but I was streaming last week or two of April. This just felt like a gut punch. And now I have to say that it's happening faster than I thought. And I think it could happen in 3 days. I think Bitcoin can do a big flush over the next 2-3 days. Go into, let's look at the calendar. So your summer equinox, the 21st, let's just call it the summer cycle or the seasonal cycle. Around the 21st, 22nd, 3 or 4 days away, this could make a substantial low. But it's going to be a lot lower than it is now. It is. And I think all the folks that have been in Mitch's live stream, by the way, Mitch, I caught that at 5 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning for a few moments. You are a madman, but I love it. But it's that severe. You have to get in front of this and just wake up that, look, deflationary cycle is hitting very fast. And you're seeing it in Bitcoin. No inflation. Yes, inflation, but the consequences of what's been happening, completely deflationary. Let's go to Ethereum. Unbelievable. Not what anyone wants to see. You don't want to see this. I hate the destruction of financial markets. I really do. It's difficult, but it's happening. The Ethereum situation, well under. Here's the last thing I posted of. Check out the bearish bat that I posted at 12:35. Okay, looking for a nominal reaction to target two, but once that failed and does this kind of dud reaction, there's no return. This then you just ride this trend line down. Ride that trend line, folks. And I'll put it to take the 1 hour time frame, and I think it's like this. On your hourly, get down to 680. Let's keep the proper slope. Okay, like this. That bat pattern is going to be, talk about, historic footprints of massive harmonic action leading to massive capitulation. This is 680. It's something like that. So still lower. You breaking the lows. I said this before. Under 1,000, you're done. We're at 980. 980. Is it going to be a buy? Because check out the weekly, and this is something for harmonic pattern collection users, those that have bought the program or subscribe. Because a lot of people are asking me, do we buy down here? When we hit the 886, are we going to buy? And every pattern that as an opportunity, look, patterns are two. There's like a multifaceted, but really two facets to every harmonic pattern as a framework, analytical framework to provide targets and understanding for what has happened and where the symmetry of the markets exists. And then the second is to outline the actionable potential reversal levels, potential reversal zone, PRZ, that requires confirmation. And look at these expanding indicators just continuing to expand. I mean, amplified RSI is at a 1372. HSI all the way down here has gone to a negative 12. Listen, 11.3 right there is our minimum oversold. Going negative at a negative 12 is not only as severe as it can get, and probably the most severe readings I've ever seen on HSI is like a negative 20 or a plus 120. But the fact that it's breaking new historic lows, which it is, and until that pivots out, you're going to see a bar over bar continuation until that's done. Call that a serial continuation. When you get a week over week, a day over day, in terms of this downtrend, lower highs, lower lows, continuing. Do not expect that to change until we hit these numbers. And that's probably, what, 2 weeks, 2 more weeks? We're going to come to the weekly close. And we go through next week, and then we get a monthly close. Literally a week from Thursday, you get a monthly close. And so I'll say 21st to 22nd, maybe as late as the 30th, but I think you'll bottom before the end of the month down at those levels. Josh is asking, where can you get the indicator? The indicator that I want everyone to get to right now is for TradingView. And the easiest way, send your username to hpc@sr-analyst.com. That's my programming partner. Guy's the best programmer in the industry. And I think if you spend a little time with not only the software, but the sessions we have been talking about, you will see what this stuff has been projecting out. The other thing that I want to bring up today, even though this is the e-signal version, this is like our Cadillac version. We've got it for about 6 different programs, but on e-signal, boy, it helps with the Bitcoin futures, and the BTC ETF. These have been invaluable secondary charts to be looking at trend, analyzing possibilities. And let's go to the weekly here. Same deal. Okay, same deal. Look at that. And what's going to happen on Monday is we will gap down again. We will gap down again. And look at for most of you that know the ratios and understand this stuff, just even do your Fibonacci harmonic spread. I did this last week as well, explaining that each of the retracements have character. So if you're at a 382 retracement, you're looking for some kind of continuation. You didn't get it. Actually, at the 50 level that's your 50 point, B point, midpoint of this whole formation. But then once you break down under these levels, that's where acceleration occurs. That BAM, bat action magnet move phenomenon comes together. For today, going into Monday, 886 on the futures is at 10,854. And I think this action, what we're seeing over the weekend with the likes of these brokerages going under, the likes of, maybe Michael Saylor will be able to just continue to leverage his company to Bitcoin. But I would say that I said this week. There's a lot of guys on Wall Street that would like to put his position out. They would like to gang up on him, snuff it out. That's what goes on. It happens. It just happens. You have to understand that the big boys play a different game than we play. Okay, for the big boys, it's the guys that have the billions, it's all about attitude. It's all about who can be the biggest, on the block. But for us, and for 99.9% of everybody that's dealing with this market, price is critical. I don't get the hodlers. It has been a troubling, just a real distressing kind of herd mentality that I really felt that when we went to the Bitcoin conference. Mitch and I went to the Bitcoin conference. We saw a lot of that tribal activity, and with Michael Saylor saying 0 or a million on Bitcoin. Okay, maybe, but what if Bitcoin goes back to 3,000, 5,000? Let's do this, because this is my other thought about the severity of Bitcoin. Okay, first of all, we do have, depending on your feed, but we do have a clear deep crab harmonic pattern that I outlined this week, where from the October low up to that November peak, well, we are well past the 1618 extension, but this is a deep crab. Okay, and the models work the same way. Doesn't matter what time frame, doesn't matter what market. What we know about the deep crab is this boy likes to run the 1618, and a lot of times we'll go to the hop. And that hop for Bitcoin is 8,700. The hop on the deep crab, folks, is the 2.0 level. Again, these are all strategies that I've laid out in my books that define harmonic patterns. Important to understand and kind of get familiar with that. If you want, go become a basic member and then just access the books. The place to read about the BAM is in volume 2. It's all free. Okay, although that may change soon. I want to let you folks know I might be changing the basic membership to a nominal payment due to some of the things that have happened recently. It might be $20, a one-time payment, but it's still free now, and I probably will still keep it free on the Discord. But the BAM phenomenon is something that took me years to realize did happen, and it just came from understanding there's a bullish BAM breakout, which we had on the way up. Now on the downside, look, this is your BAM. This realization came from understanding alignments, measurements, that when you get 4 of the 5 levels and then you break the B point, that bat action magnet move is, you go ahead and try to ignore it. Really, that's in the back of my mind. Yes, this stuff always takes time, but you ignore the BAM, you're gonna get you live in you're gonna have to eventually realize that this is your BAM trigger. This is exactly what we see with the Bitcoin chart on your weekly. Go to the weekly here. And it's an accelerated move. Bitcoin now 18,882. So the really the final comparative note about Bitcoin, that you want to you're if in doubt zoom out, all of that. Yes, that's what they say, but let's get a quality feed like Coinbase. Sure, Coinbase. If Coinbase is going to survive, I think Coinbase is a stock where you're trading 50. I'd be real concerned, and I said this last week, that I did move 99% of my money off of the exchanges. I mean, back into a bank account, or a couple actually, because FDI insurance is a good thing to have. But here are the historic examples. Let's go to 2018. This is something else I mentioned earlier in this week, but the historical precedent is there, folks. And we had it not only, look, we had it both 2019 and 2020, the eventual completion, but there was your 50 level, your X A point is the extreme with your 50% there. Why this works, also really important to understand this. Okay, it doesn't have to be the exact high to low. We're looking for configurations of alignments. That's why the software, the algos are picking up really from the low from July, okay, down there, July 3rd. And that's where your best 50% lines up. There's your 886. Okay? Now take a look. If we were to do an all-time retracement, which is one of the questions currently, the 886 was right, would have been 2,500, would not have worked. Again, a lot of this comes from the research, the work, especially with the software that I've done in the last 5-7 years. Now, looking back here, 2019 timeframe, this took longer in this instance, but once the BAM, the 50% really broke down, you had a major flush. So you almost got there on that move back here in 18, but we didn't have quite the same macro situation, and I think it's also key to understand that even the pattern reversal itself did not happen until we violated the trend lines. Remember, safe space. Your safe space for longs is to the right of that downtrend. After the pattern's completed, there's your confirmation, and then you go. Now, 2019 to 2020, it's much smaller. You didn't have a full cycle breakout, but you had another bat pattern that came back down. This one pulling off of that prior low, although this was an exact 886, you could have pulled it there. But why is it measuring from there to there? Because your B point fits so nicely to give you the true harmonic level. Do I think we'll get a relief rally before the BAM? No. No. I think $11,000 is your target, and just settle in. You're 18,830. You want it. Like, if you're a crypto bull, If you want this cycle to end, you want this to end just as ugly as possible now, where you do drop. Maybe we just click another day or so, down another 1,000, down another 1,500, and then you get to like 17,000, and then we get a big drop. We get a sizable percentage drop, a 1 day 25-30% move down to your numbers. Again, off of, use that pivot low right there, off of, yeah, let's get the magnet exactly. This is the Coinbase feed. So the low, I use the magnet tool, bang, amazing. That low was 38.58. So let's just bring down the 886 just a little bit more. Where's the exact 886? Exact is like right there. About 11.7, 11.750. And until you do that, you still would need to pivot out. Still got to come out of HSI and amplified. And we could put on RSI. Listen, I love RSI. Wells Wilder, greatest genius, technical analyst that ever. He created ADX, RSI, stochastics, and where are we? Let's just put it up here and let's get his standard RSI. There it is. There's RSI. Where are you? Because everyone else is looking at RSI saying lowest RSI ever. Okay, but doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because the RSI, it depends on what happens there. What is the formation? Do we get a W or do we get a V at that extreme? And if we get this, like it happens such in this manner, we come down, we do a W, okay, and then RSI spends another few weeks down here to do a W stabilization, but not with, this is why I did amplified RSI, because amplify shows it. It shows the degree of failure a lot better. So all that's, one second. 1 second, folks. All of that's going to still take another week, maybe 2 weeks to resolve itself because it's weekly. Even when you were here, look, we have an M formation in your amplified. And if you go to standard RSI, you have an M formation back there. Let's bring it over. Literally where you form another, the indicator reading forms this kind of an M formation where the complete M, the two peaks are in the overbought extreme, and you go down. And that takes more time. Interestingly, an interesting thing to note on this is that, look, for that complex structure, RSI entered the extreme there on the way up at 6,000-7,000. But when you take a look at it, all right, the fact that it did the indicator expansion, which is something everyone needs to understand. When you go into your indicator, because I combining the patterns with the indicators is the way. I'll look at 11K, but I need indicator confirmation down here. If we form a W structure on amplified, or even, let's say, a standard RSI does that, that means you're going to take probably at least 3-4 weeks minimum to do that. You would need 4 individual bars to complete that W formation, and it would still have to go through a 12-18 month cycle phase to come up and then do a secondary retest. It's just, we've been agonizing over this for months. I mean, I personally have, and the static trend line progress, everything that was trying to be defended failed. 37,000 was the absolute failure point. And in the same regard, you have to go look for your harmonic targets, 11,000. Just 11,000 with everything else, continuing to do a drop, a serial move, bar over bar. I think you go back to the COVID low, which was a little more volatile than what we're seeing now. The COVID crash was 8,000 down to 3,500. Think of that on a percentage term, more than 50% drop in a week. A week, and you lost percentage wise again 10.3 to 39, 30, yeah, 4,000 roughly, 60% drop in a 4 week period time frame. Can't emphasize how critical all of this is coming together, that you favor it down, you learn about the BAM, go get the book, get the volume 2 book, learn about this phenomenon. It's going to, at a minimum, the framework will keep you out of bad positions when things turn sour, or not even sour, when you get these undeniable realities. You get 4 of the 5 points, you get a breakdown, you're in a clear downtrend. We have this in NASDAQ, we have this in the Dow and S&P to a lesser point, but they're there. And this BAM trigger, it accelerates, it gets you going. You have to respect that. New lows. New lows. 1 minute chart, new lows. There you go. The other thing that you're going to see, if you wanted to trade this, I'm not trading it. Haven't touched crypto in weeks. I think if Mitch is still here, selling that Chili's was like the last position I held, and thank God. I'll get to that in a second. But what we're seeing a lot, pretty standard, pretty not surprising. Yes, you get a bullish pattern, okay? But just reaction, reaction, reaction. Reaction, bang, retest for the type 2. But that's it. Nothing more than reactions. Here we go. New lows there for Bitcoin on this whole move. And what was depending on your feed, you're about to take it out. Depending on Coinbase low yesterday was, there it goes. There it goes, 18.7. Goodbye. Goodbye. 18.7 new lows. Hey, Mitch Ray, what's going on, man? Let me know if you want to jump in. There it goes. Bitcoin just down another 500 on the tick. On the tick. Here's something I love to do for futures trading. Pull up a 30-second chart. 30-second chart, folks. That's what happens when you break support. Ethereum crashing. There we go. There we go. Mitch, you got to be talked out, man. You've been streaming like 24 of the last 48 hours. Ethereum new lows, 961. Pulling this up on a 30-second chart. Love it, right? Scott, this is a great question. If you're not trading crypto, why am I putting so much emphasis on it? Because I know there are a lot of people that are just learning now, and they've jumped off the narrative. They got into technicals, and now they're doing exact measurements, and they don't understand it. And you've got guys like Saylor and Pompliano and all these other people who are Bitcoin maniacs that can lose the money, but the rest of us can't. That's why I sold Chili's. I did it on Mitch's stream. I had a 15K position. Thank you, Mitch. Couple glasses of whiskey and some fun talk with my friend and his crew. I was just like, yeah, what am I doing here? This was my thing on Chili's. I had I think on Binance I had confirmation. Now you have confirmation, but I caught that big downdraft after the capitulation V and then went sideways for like 20 days. And you hear me on the stream. I was kind of like yelling at myself, and it happens. But I wanted to communicate the fact that the larger coins, the ones that people had staked in Ethereum or Bitcoin, or took a Bitcoin loan out. That was other questions I was getting. Bitcoin loan. I just said enough. That was a week ago Thursday. I forget even now. A week ago this past Thursday. So, and I was real clear. Yeah, maybe a little bit inebriated, but I was clear. I had enough of it, and I'm not liking what I'm seeing. So for me, I hold the responsibility of I hold the fiduciary responsibility. If I'm going to get in here and talk about my work and talk about the markets, I want to be real with the whole landscape that I see so that people get it. Why? Because they're going to get burned. You're going to get burned. You're going to wash out. You're going to lose, people already getting totally wrecked. And you got the guys like Luna and the Celsius people. These people should be in jail. Yet the system didn't want to regulate crypto. They didn't want to come in there and provide some kind of regulatory framework. Now everyone's wrecked. Yeah, yeah. It's just something that I love the markets. I hate to see shill. I hate to see these guys that even if they lose a billion, they're going to retire and never have to think about it again. Meanwhile, all of the lemmings they wanted to bring over the cliff with them to hope to God they could talk their book. They're burning. They forgot about being what they needed to be, which was ultimately tell the truth. That's my problem with these guys. You're going to see people like Pompliano and Saylor. They'll lose 95% of their fortunes, but still walk away with 20, 30 million. What do you need in life? What do you need in life? Let me know. Let me know what you need in life. I need to make money. I need to live the truth. And I sure as hell want to help people. I think Mitch would say the same thing. If Mitch wants to join, Mitch, you're welcome to jump on. I'll bring you in, man. You let me know. I didn't want to spend too much time. I want to just kind of highlight. And my Saturday here is I'm gonna go swimming with my son, but I had to jump on here. There's a 5 minute Bitcoin chart. Here's a bat pattern with no confirmation. So you don't touch it. This is why we don't touch, especially massive patterns in a downtrend. Okay, I'm going to bring Mitch in. Give me 1 minute. 1 minute. That way, actually, Mitch, I can go get more water. Hold on. Let me check. Let me get the man in here. It stinks. And you're seeing the destruction of the market. The malaise. I talked about the malaise. For those that know about the malaise rant I went on. Okay? The malaise rant that I went on a while ago, back in August, when, especially after Afghanistan and things were falling apart, that we would get into this malaise. It's worse than I thought. Let's get the man in here. Mitch Ray coming in. Mitch Ray incoming. You ready? 3, 2, 1, man. Oh, I gotta hold on. Let me get you in here. Mitch, can you hear me? Hold on. Oh, I gotta set you up. 1 second. What's going on here, Scott? Gee. There he is.
Hey, can you hear me?
Good morning. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon and morning. Yeah, we're right in that little estuary between the two. Yeah, man. Wow. It never stops. It's just like 3.5 weeks. Oh my God, I'm dying. I'm dying. This market's never moving again. Then it finally we caught resolution and the resolution just unstoppable. So just wow. I mean, look where we are right now, 18,500. They're going for Celsius. Celsius like 16K liquidation price right now. They moved it down like 3 times. Are they going to move it again? We need people in the chat to be paying attention to what Celsius devs or whatever are doing, So, they what I don't even understand really. I guess they're getting the capital so they don't get liquidated at 16K. They're gonna try to do that because it's coming. Well, I mean, at least I think we're going. I mean, my target, I know, like 11K, all that, but I like going one sport at a time. I'm really probably over conservative about this stuff, but 70K is the next one on the list. That's the next target. That was the case last night when we broke 19,891, in my opinion. I know I get it though, Leon. We're talking about complex wave structures. I'm just saying like 17,155 could hit today, because and then bounce there. And then you're oversold and you got to consolidate for a minute before you roll over again. Is That's what I'm saying. So I get it though. 14K to me on the monthly makes the most sense because if you look at that monthly chart, it was the candle high close from December. It was the previous cycle tops highest monthly candle close ever. And then in June of 2019, we had a price action that went and tested that. That's the area. So 17K short term, then kind of shorter or midterm would be 14K. And then after that, I think we could talk because we'll certainly be live, at one point. But
Yeah, there's your monthly, and I agree.
like, where are you? Yeah, look at it. It's like no man's land now. No man's land.
And I think these are the points. Look, the people that weren't looking at charts and blindly buying Bitcoin are now looking at charts to figure out where their max pain will come in. And over the weekend, this makes a lot of sense. This is kind of blowing up over the weekend. You see major crashes usually do happen. There's stuff that goes on over the weekend. I remember 2008 when basically they called all the banks in and said, guys, the system's going to collapse. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for a crypto system collapse down to minimum numbers, where Bitcoin is probably not even the best currency feed, just going off of whatever. But that's where you are. The spread of harmonic ratios is, I think, look, there's all-time 382. Once that all-time 382 failed, you started to look for 50 level, which was 34, 35, 34 is really under 37 for me was a real problem. And then it's just more than taking, I thought they would take this summer. It's going to happen by the summer, by the 21st. I think those cycling, those just the uncanny lows that are forming on cycles. You could see something on the 21st come Tuesday, Wednesday, but it's, maybe it is 17 or 14, but I think 11 off of this. Let's go back to the weekly. Just because of the pattern. I mean, look, the pattern said when you have the configuration of alignments that we do, the pattern target is not something I want to ignore. And you get, you just get that bat action magnet move, the bamming down to 886 level is, I would just patiently wait for that at 11. Um, I could see this happening quickly too. Maybe come Monday morning, we open up. This thing just
God.
grinds over the next 24, 48 hours into a massive low.
Yeah, stock market's closed on Monday. Just it's Juneteenth, first one I think ever for a bank holiday. So just if you didn't know, it's like a new holiday. So
I forgot.
yeah, so 3-day weekend, which I don't know if that's good or bad.
That's bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
That's bad because then you're going to see that there'll be a massive capitulation gap on your futures come Tuesday, which Tuesday, okay, everything lining up for the 21st. Tuesday the 21st. So thank you for telling me that. 21st, 21st to 22nd, that's your day. You've got basically 72 hours to drop 7,000 points on Bitcoin.
Good God, on the weekend.
On the weekend, which is light action. Futures guys, New York guys, going to sell this, dump it any way they can. And it should be day over day. I mean, there should not be a day at this point. Here's the thing on the daily as well. Bitcoin, as I said, has a couple of crab patterns, what have you, depending on where you're pulling from. But we should see this be another 2 or 3 days down where it's already been 12 days down.
Oh,
Two,
no one's
three,
buying. Yeah, it's
six,
like
9, 12 days.
disgusting.
And then down into that 11 range. It should be some of your bigger candles. Should be another, probably a big wash candle all the way down there, straight through. The targets get hit, the 17, the 14. And then maybe in one day, and then the next day you go to 11.
Yeah, I mean, like last night I was talking, there was 10% downside on Bitcoin. There's still right now 8% downside potential. I mean, that's it. I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense. A peak from January 3rd, 2018, and then a daily candle close November 26th, 2020. I mean, that's the target. So I mean, you could almost bank on that. But I mean, that was we're at 18,600, below 19,891. That was the target. Easy. I mean, that's just how it is. You know, the level, it's all about the levels. What happened when you broke 28.8? Buy straight down. If you were delusional and you had the orange tinted sunglasses on, you were saying it can't happen. That's well, you better be graduating. You better be learning something if you're new. If you were 55% of market participants who joined crypto in 2021, the majority, I hope you're learning something. And I mean, I get it. You can either learn from someone else's mistakes by listening to people or reading books, or you can learn yourself. You could have just ignored everything Scott and me were saying about rising wedges and descending triangles on Ethereum and Bitcoin, and you ignore it, and now you're down, what, 40% in less than 2 weeks? Yeah, 40% in 9 days, by the way. 40%, 9 days. Say 39% to be really nice.
Yeah,
That's from the breakout, bearish breakout of the wedge.
yeah, yeah. It's amazing.
That's insane.
Yeah,
That's insane.
it is insane. It's and well, that was our last Thirsty Thursday stream that we did, where um, that was a lot of fun. But it was kind of like it was a great stream.
Somber. It was a laugh cry. It's a laugh cry situation. So we decided just to laugh, you know. I mean, that's
Yeah,
terrible.
it's it,
It's
it and I again thank you for just having that experience. I was ready. I was on the fence on that Chili's, which was like, just looking for. I was looking on that Chili's thing for 5 cent reaction, and I thought, all right, this whole thing will pop, do a bear market pop, and did nothing. And it just that's something with the failure of the patterns when you're in an established trend. If it's bearish on the upside or you know, downside, you got bullish patterns in a steep trend. They will pause and fail and pause and fail. And when they do, it doesn't take more than a few bars to recognize that. I mean, these are,
dude, it's so bad. It's like I'm looking at Chili's and the party hasn't even started yet. Like, you were selling at what, like 12, what was it? What was
1178.
11?
11
Yeah, and it's 8.5, but I mean, that was just straight up, straight down right there. But now you're at the hyper straight down. Like I'm talking, we're down 9.3% on Chili's today. The downside potential is 76% from here.
Yep.
And that's not even there's no argument at all. That's it. That's reality. So anyone ready for Chili's to be at 1.96 cents?
I think so. I've got five. I've got a 5 cent move here, 5 cent handle, which is still, where
Yeah, there's
all.
a peak, one time, February 21st. That one time in history ever. Rudy Poo. Big Rudy Poo.
Yeah, I
But yeah,
just it's and again, if I'm looking at anything on any bullish pattern whatsoever, I won't even look at it until we hit hop levels that are overspill moves, because we're clearly overspilled. And anything that happened back in May where you could not get any reaction, zero reaction off of that May debacle, call it, which is this kind of thing. You go sideways for, there it is, 30 bars, man, the 30 bar miracle. You start your count from the pattern completion. Tell me what's happening in that 30 bar window. And if it's a dud, it's a dud. And that's something where, in terms of a trading decision, you have to ask yourself, okay, am I willing to respond to what the market is telling me? If it's a dud reaction off the bullish pattern, which it was, and all of these, then you just have to simply say to yourself, throw in the towel. That's what I was saying. And I was glad to do that, like, to show people live, like, hey, I struggle with those decisions. Yeah, I came up with the patterns, I came up with the confirmation techniques, but we still have to make the decisions to pull the trigger and take the moves, turn the analysis into action. And it's not all going to work out, but this is, this is that dumping is a better trade than even if I did get my target one. I mean, those are signs for me personally where I look at it and say, all right, cool. I made that decision. I took it off. I put aside the target one 50% move that I was hoping to grab and just saying, calling it a day. This is a dud. And now, okay, it takes time, but now it's saying, all right, yeah, now
It's
I'm really,
fascinating.
really glad I scratched that.
If you look at the 4 hour, you can paint a miniature bear flag, and it's already breaking that bear flag right now
Yeah.
with just the one wick from May 12th right there. There's no way that holds this time.
Yeah,
No way.
they're all squeezed like this in zones, did nothing, doing nothing, and then make that sideways move to the hop level, to the hop. The hop is 7 cents on the 4 hour. You'll probably get there tonight. I want to look at really quick Coinbase because I think this one, as a publicly traded entity, is in trouble. I got a little money there. I might pull it all off. Uh,
Dude, Jim Cramer likes it, man, to go to 475 or
he,
something.
he does, and again he's another guy who's needs to get taken out of the market. These people need to get taken out of the market.
Kramer's not going anywhere, dude. He told you to buy Bear Stearns, and then it crashed, and then he still exists. Dude went to Harvard, you know.
Yeah, he's actually from my hometown. Actually, he's from where I grew up, but don't hold that against me.
It's just crazy though. I don't even understand. Like, I don't know, man.
Well, I'll tell you the one thought
Try
that
to be rational when I stream because it's like I feel like, hey man, if I'm like saying really stupid stuff, like, like and leading people to slaughter, I feel like my days are probably numbered. So I try to like not do that. And he's just like, screw it. I'll just say random stuff and we'll probably get people murdered financially. But whatever. I don't even know how do you sleep when you're doing stuff like that as him in that role on TV? I don't get it at all as a content creator because I'm not Kramer, okay, at all. And you weren't either. But like, we're the same arena in terms of like a form of diffusion from normal legacy media. We are, microbreweries. They are the mega breweries, right? So
yeah, he's
I don't know how he does
Budweiser.
that.
I agree with that.
Yeah, Anheuser. Yep.
He's the Budweiser of the markets for sure. Or
But
maybe
market
even like
analysis, yeah.
or Bush or whatever Miller.
Milwaukee's worst.
Milwaukee's best, sure. And I think
But
Coinbase. Look, it's going to happen this week. Where let's see what the market does on Tuesday. Now that we know that, but for Coinbase and all of the mining stocks and everything, how doesn't Marathon go to a dollar? How doesn't
God,
Coinbase
dude,
go to
Riot.
$5 when they're so levered? They owe so much, and now the principal assets are gone.
Whoa, I'm sending you this chart. Look at this. This is a minor, right? I'm just gonna send PM you. You just look at this, dude, and be like,
Which one?
don't vomit, okay?
Let
Don't
me
throw up.
let me bring this up. Who's this?
Riot,
Oh
Riot
yeah,
blockchain. Look where it is.
amazing, amazing.
Amazingly bad, yeah.
So why that? Oh yeah,
66 to 73% downside from here. Below that level, below that zone.
you go back into test cycle lows. I mean, there's the riot
Ah,
chart, folks. But again, you're $5-6. How this doesn't go to a dollar or go to pennies, and then take time. This has done it over and over again on each of these cycles. So for the upside, and everyone that was claiming, that the halving cycle for Bitcoin has to be, it's going to repeat. It's
oh my
going to
God, BNB.
the BNB.
Sorry, I'm getting an alert. Alert. Yeah, dude, that's worse than Coinbase. BNB and FTX, the two exchanges
Oh,
are screwed. BNB is going to $40, in my opinion. I think in
yeah.
time. I think you might stop for 10 minutes at 139, 140, but I'm saying $40. This is like one of the worst looking charts. It's like Bitcoin falling below 30K. FTT, FTX, same thing. Where it is you're staring into the abyss, and the only thing looking back is a man's character, right? Or whatever. I can't remember the Wall Street quote exactly. But anyway, yeah, $40. And you've broken that support at 211. Way more pressing than Coinbase, just based on it's live right now, and it's breaking the sports as I'm speaking. and it's breaking almost a bad action magnet move in ways, kind of, a little bit. I think that 211 would be a B point of some sort, right?
This 211. Let me go to the daily.
Yeah, that's it. Yep, it's breaking it right now. Awful, dude. Like this is one of the worst looking charts in crypto. This Monero FTT, like and Chili's, there are other ones that are literally in the abyss too, but I'm talking this is different because this is your third largest cryptocurrency in the entire space. So if BNB is going to 40, it has a heavy weight on total. So total's heading on down to 763 billion. And if you break that, there's nothing there really until $423 billion total market cap. And that
Yeah,
so you wonder how could we get down there? Things like BNB, FTT, Monero imploding, like literally going down 60 to 80% from where they are right now. Yeah, it's like 80% downside on BNB. If you can
yep.
even believe that right now.
You can connect
80%.
dots off the last year of its action. You get kind
Yeah,
of
look at,
a butterfly formation. And that
Jesus.
puts you $90
Yeah,
minimum.
you're right. Oh my God, dude. Disgusting. Jesus. Yeah. What about a 1414?
1414 is the overspill for the butterfly. So we use that as in the harmonic
Bad market
spread.
conditions, right?
Yeah, and butterfly overruns 127 a lot, so that you 141 gets you to 23, but I'll go to 127 on
Yeah.
BNB. I'll go there. Yeah, 80 90 bucks, folks. 90 bucks BNB.
Remember, 90 bucks is outer space. There's never been a time in history once where BNB ever did anything at that level, ever. So yeah, I think it would make that 1272 weaker just because of that.
Yeah, and you get, listen, minimum if you're going to do anything on these weekly, daily, weekly, long terms, look at your ABCDs off the top. Can you draw an ABCD here? Yes, you can. And where are you? You're three of the four. So you're and that minimum ABCD puts you, somewhere around 138, 130 right off of this top, and that's a minimum. All of these are 30, 50% lower. That's how you get to crypto market cap at 400, 450 billion. Isn't that new lows for BTC now?
What is it?
New, I think again, new lows.
We're like $100 off the
Yeah, we
lows of the day of the
just in the
crash.
last the prior 5 minutes it pushed down. Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go. You get under 18,000. What were you saying? 17.5 was your first stop.
17.1.
17.1.
17.155.
Let me
Yeah,
pull up.
17,155, and then after 17,155 is 13,936 or just 14K, whatever.
And imagine the people that can't sell. Like imagine
Oh my God.
the
Imagine
longs,
mistake.
like the longs on the futures that can't sell, they can't cover, and then other spot participants who are locked up. I mean, you're probably at 18,000. People are looking at 18,000 saying, okay, I can't get out till when? All of the margin calls haven't started yet. That's the other problem for me. I said this past week that when you're on this downslide and you're trying to capitulate, you need to see bankruptcy. You need to see margin calls to drive this stuff. This could be some margin call action already.
Yeah, right. I think probably people are getting liquidated right now, dude. Like it's like an ongoing process. Each time you tick down, parts of position get liquidated. I mean, yeah, we got. I mean, we're going through some sort of like crazy 1929, 2008 situation. I call it 1929 because no Federal Reserve, no intervention from anybody in the world. No one's bailing out crypto or Bitcoin right now. So that's 29. 2008, we could compare it to 2008, with cascading liquidations and all that, margin calls, but the government bailed out that market, and we're now finally at the end of that part. That 14-year business cycle's over now. So, um, and without Federal Reserve intervention, it's very clear that the stock market can't do anything but go down. It won't go up. So, um, yeah, I'm just saying, like, we're kind of gonna go through, right? Remember 2018, what? You had like 2,300 cryptos total. Okay. Now we have 18,000 total. What was the market cap of crypto? I mean, which is sad, in 2018, at one point it
It
hit
was
a
two, three
high.
hundred billion max. I mean,
No, it was 763 billion at the time, and we're about to reach that level again, which is crazy. But we still have 18,000 coins versus the 2,300 back then at that cycle top. So you just got to think about I mean, if that support breaks, I mean, what's going to happen to these coins and all these new institutions? There's just so many more people involved in crypto now that I could just see it's like a numbers game, right? It's like if you have this many more chances for bad things to happen, 2,300 versus 18,000, they're probably going to happen, and it's probably going to affect the market terribly. So I'm just interested to see what's going to occur here. I mean, like, how bad is it going to get? Like, hey, man, I mean, we're exchanges going insolvent.
yeah, you have to. You have to, in the same way banks went out in 2008 and they just dropped when they started dropping, they just went like flies. But this has got it does have a 29 feel, which has been the scare of every technical analysis I've ever talked to. When would that happen again? Because they're not going to be surprised. But it also has a
Mhm.
2000 flavor to it in terms of all the dot coms that were, fluff and then
Yeah,
went to zero. MicroStrategy went to 3,000 and then went back to $10 at the low.
yeah,
I mean, just astronomical moves that you look at the chart and I'm like, did that really happen? I mean, let's pop MicroStrategy chart where this
oh
is
God.
this is at 167. Okay, COVID low on MicroStrategy is 93. So that'll lose 50% from even here, but then you go back to what look, this is the craziness MicroStrategy did in the 2000.com. I mean, that's really something, but this was dot coms, but it's real similar to crypto. This chart where MicroStrategy went up, from 79 to 3,200 and then all the way back down. And actually in 2003, not a lot of people know that Michael Saylor settled and two of his executive officers settled for $10 million dollars to the SEC for misstating income and financial revenues. What's the low on that? The low is $4, folks.
Yeah.
MicroStrategy low was $4. Then it goes sideways, climbs its way out for 20 years to go back to 1,000, 1,200. So if that's $4 back here, we're 167. You got a long way to go. And if I'm looking at the last pattern that I see, which is a Gartley hop level at 83, 84, that's where you go.
Yeah, I got 80 here. 80 is my target on this one. It's the swing low, the IPO price in 1998, and it's a swing low from April 1999. Just taking those two initial historical levels, that's why it's my target because that's gotta get tested, man. 78, 75, whatever.
And a massive Gartley. I mean, that's the thing. Look, you, if I'm 1,000% wrong on MicroStrategy, I still want to see some kind of pattern. I have no pattern here. I have nothing. And I think a whole bunch of time would have to uh, take shape if you were to try to be a contrarian, but you're not a contrarian here because this is so severe. There's no signs here. Like we would need capitulation first before I would assume that there's anything that could happen. And you're still in the down phase of this capitulation that it could take a few more weeks, a few more months, but you go back and restart COVID, and I think it's becoming clearer now. Most of the markets look like they want to go back and retest COVID lows, which are only 2 years ago, which means, and I've said this before, the last 2 years were total fluff, the greatest fluff, artificially manipulated asset inflate in appreciation inflation that is over, and you'll have to do a long-term continuation whatever if this doesn't go bankrupt, because if Bear Stearns can go bankrupt, MicroStrategy with their genius plan, all eggs in one basket, will
Hunts
destroy the company.
Brothers 2.0.
Yeah.
Isn't it like our Hunts Brothers, right? That's what's
The
happening.
Hunt brothers, yeah, they tried to.
Hunt Brothers, right?
Yeah, that's what the movie Trading Places is based off of that loosely. And that firm tried to corner the silver market, and again, silver went to $40 an ounce in the early 80s. Look it up, folks, if anyone's interested. But that one went silver lost 90% of its value. And the thing is that once you bust your cycles, 88.6% all-time corrections are actually more common than they seem. They seem horrible, but that's what takes shape when you get to this
But they
point.
haven't so much.
Yep.
Yeah, and there's like no out. I mean, like total market cap's going to an 886, man. I mean, nothing's certain, dude, but an 886 is 443 billion, and that lines up perfectly with a very, very strong potential support from 2018 and 2019 and even 2020 on total market cap, right? You're not even at a 78% retrace yet, which is right around 763 billion, 730 billion. So you're getting to the deep value areas, at least the beginning. But I think the fact that the 786 is just one peak from history, January 2018 cycle top, I think 886 would be a much stronger support and the much more reasonable area to possibly consider looking at it again for opportunity to buy at a strong support, instead of catching the falling knife and capitulation.
Or as a target. I mean, just in this
Yeah,
instance,
sure.
to get some kind of clue of where you're going and how severe it can be, the target, the just starting with the measurements as a target gives you a clear idea. I mean, we're under 800. We flashed under 800 billion here momentarily, not just a little while ago. Yeah, just for a second, we got to 799.44, but that's just a number. And people might say, that's a psychological number. Try to come in and support it, but no, and that's
Yeah,
not.
right, dude.
You're
Yeah,
not
right.
nowhere
Not in this
there.
market.
No.
Maybe when the money printer was going. Don't fight the Fed. The Fed has told us that they are doing nothing until inflation is curbed. Inflation is still at its highest level to this point. So if you just listen to them, you understand they're trying to destroy demand. That's it. So you destroy demand. I mean, they're going to keep raising interest rates. And really, in my opinion, I think the only thing that's going to make the Fed change course is when we get circuit breaker days, when we get multiple circuit breakers. When I'm talking, we're gapping down and at open within the first 5 minutes of open, we're trading has stopped because we're down 7% on the S&P 500. And then that happens once, and then happens again a couple of days later. I mean, I think that is the only thing that will stop the Fed because you get the slow bleed out like this, they're whatever. That's fine. That's their soft landing. Once you start crashing, that's the hard landing. So I'm just waiting for transitory inflation. I'm waiting for soft landing narrative to end and to be like, yeah, we were wrong about the soft landing. It's never been done in human history, and it still can't be done. And that's what those limit downs are. That's the hard landing. So
Here's my concern with Nasdaq that I'm pulling up right now. 7,800 is the 886 off the COVID low. I book it, and
Bitcoin, here we go.
yeah. But the problem with the Nasdaq chart is
Session lows.
your B point was at a 382, and that could easily bring you all the way back down to the 1.0 as an alternate bat structure that gets you to 66, and it's that bad.
Hmm.
You haven't hit it yet. Just like Bitcoin, yeah, there it goes. Bitcoin showing us the way, and it in the face of billionaires telling you otherwise, who are not paying attention to technicals, harmonics, whatever. That there you go. Yep. Let's put it in the 1 minute chart. There you
Yep,
go.
and Ethereum's going to 830 easy from here. Easy. What does that mean? You will easily see another 12% downside, but as I was live last night, we had 15% downside. So, yep, 12, 13% more downside, chat, if you're out there watching. Thanks for being there. I know there's about nearly 400 of y'all. Hey, Scott, man, you could always change the title of your stream and try to put Bitcoin live at the front. Let's see if we get some more SEO, search engine optimization. So more people are, when they're typing, they're freaking out, panicking on Bitcoin. They're typing in Bitcoin live. They might find you, but right now they might not find you. So we're at 950 on Ethereum at the lowest lows of the crash. Lowest lows since My God, January 10th, 2021.
Amazing. Amazing. You get this, you'll get 17. You'll get the 17-1 now. I mean, tonight
Probably.
you'll be
I
on.
mean, there's
You'll get
nothing
your
here. Yeah.
17-1 and then some, and it's just a day over day. This is day over day now. And you got to be
Big
thinking,
money selling.
yeah, because they're looking at it now like I'm Max Payne. I can't
Yep.
lose half of the remaining of what I have now. Not to mention the Bitcoin loans, all of that scheme, and
Yeah.
the
Collateral liquidations, all the, yep, it's gonna end badly. I mean, Warren Buffett said it. He was right.
and here it
He
is.
was right, man.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that he's right, but he's right. Guy's right, and he's sitting on Coca-Cola, and he's fairly well protected. But he'll get hit. They'll get hit. I mean, everyone's gonna. You're going to. You saw it in crude oil on Friday. Massive sell-off, where
Yep. Natural gas too.
that gas limit down $6 is our target. USO go to 84 or something, or no, go to I forget what the target I have on USO, but it doesn't matter because Bitcoin is the canary. That's the poster child for this whole asset bubble bursting. And yeah, look at the weekly. Look, this is going to end up being a massive bullet bearish engulfing, not even engulfing, it just bearish acceleration capitulation. It's just where's that going to stop? And we get the
At least
close
17-1.
tomorrow. We don't get the close till tomorrow, right?
Oh, for the weekly, yeah, yeah, for sure.
So you have
But it's just
36.
it's wild that on this weekend, and trading should be dead and you should go sideways and do nothing. You're not. You're collapsing on a Saturday. What?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm
Worst case, man.
it's faster than I thought. I'm gonna post. Let me just go back to a couple of the recent posts that on my Twitter feed, folks. You can follow it and go back and look at basically as I've been highlighting this to go line by line. Um, it's just been you can see it. Here's from weeks. That's the 16th. Bitcoin was 20,000. That was after the first breakdown. But it is happening faster than I thought. And you get to things like where is it? Where is that? Oh, where's the total? I don't know. I'll have to look for it later. Oh, here's one funny one. There's a crypto.com. They probably go bankrupt. Crypto.com that had a BAM
Bro, oh my God.
and
Oh,
that
that was the FTT, B&B, and Crow. Certainly. Crow's going to 9 cents easy. But yeah, yeah, maybe bankruptcy, maybe insolvency. Like we don't know. Under the hood, it could be a yeah, look at that Crow, man.
there's
Lowest
Crow.
price Crow's seen since July 20th of last year. So 9 cents. That's been the target though. I mean, we were at 18.5 cents, and I was like, your target is 9 cents. Because straight up, straight down. That's history. Matt Damon. This is the Matt Damon coin. Trash, scam, big scam.
Wonder if those guys got stock or they got paid cash. Did Tom Brady take cash or did they take stock? Because that's the other thing.
Oh,
If you
I think
got
Matt Damon definitely took cash.
there's crypto.com. That's probably the better feed where look,
Yeah.
your all-time low was 2 cents. 3 cents, you go back and retest those cycle lows. It's tough. I
Oh,
will
for sure, for sure.
yeah, let me get that. I got to post something here. But
I think yeah. I mean, it's just like below 9 cents and 8.7 cents is like 6 cents. Yeah,
I think your
it's
your
awful.
take though on there's Ethereum, that's new lows. But your take on
And Bitcoin.
BNB
Yep.
and Bitcoin, yeah, there you go. There's 1 minute chart, 947, 680, folks. Is I think by Tuesday is where that 886 that because Ethereum has led it all the way down. This doesn't stop. And what were you saying? It was you were at like 860. You had something
Uh, the
first
next
stop
target's
there.
830. 830's next. We've already broke the 980. Now we got 830 from here. There's nothing in between there. Nothing. So, in my opinion, and nothing meaningful. Like you have like a peak from 2017 and 2018 right there.
Insane.
which again is like, oh, it's only 12 more downside, 12% more downside, which is a lot. I mean, good God, dude. This crypto market makes you really desensitized to massive, unbelievable 50% swings.
Yeah, and the fact that it still has a ways to drop. I mean, like I'm generating a pattern on the software, but hop level is at 323. I'll stick with 680. I will stick with 680 and confidently look for that just as a target, downside target, where if I'm trying to make market assessments, I'll look at what happens there. But 680 is for Ethereum. We started out with that. All right, puts
Bro,
you
I
at
don't think, I mean, you break 830, you're going to 420, man, in time, easy. I'm looking at the daily at 630. Not that's no support. That's no moon. That's a space station. Just kidding. That's a nothing. I don't know. I mean, I'm just looking left, dude, and it's historically between 420 and $1,000, just straight up, straight down. Well, then okay, between 420 and 830, it's straight down, up, and that's it. That's your only history. So if you break that, you go straight down to 420 again. High probability, in my opinion, of course.
yeah, with the exception of that, with the 2018 surge up, most of your
Yeah, that's
peaks.
that eight. That's that 830 next target, right? You talking
Yeah,
about? Yep.
yeah, you got well a couple clear levels, but if you're really going to look at where the bulk of the historic trading action happens,
Hmm.
it's still you're still well below that. And if you're going to go back there, which you are, you're scraping the top end. But that does make a lot of sense where you go back and retest where the supply truly is of where the larger, big, early adopters got in. That if they're still holding, you're going to go back and try to clean them out. So I'm it's amazing. I can't stress enough that for me, my analysis of just connecting the dots, looking for where the combination of ratios, the patterns come in, is how I came up with my targets, and I'll stick to those targets. And then you bring in the other technical analysis, the stuff that Mitch has. You have been so in front of this. It's like with the other levels that very clear that these massive doesn't have to be a gap. It doesn't have to be an actual price gap, but you fail to have any kind of tradable support in these zones. That's where TA comes in to show you, hey, look out. There's nothing but air. I mean, that is the definition of nothing but air in the chart that goes back to the prior levels that you started the whole cycle from. And these cycles, the cycles of everyone has talked about, having cycle and plan B cycle and all of that. How about just a technical cycle? How about just a standard up down cycle? You go through a massive bull market, you come back down the other side, and to reset it, that you have to reset to start again. And this is what it's doing. We're now in that final acceleration phase. Can we get down? Are we going to break it? I'm going to break 49.40 now.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. And Bitcoin gonna break. It's already broke. There's nothing to break. It's already broken. Broke 20K, 19,891. Now 17,155. And my God, dude, it's incessant selling. It's just like constant bots, just sell, sell. That's it. No buy, only sell here. Crazy. But it makes too much sense because how could anyone with any money that could move the market have any sort of strategic entry in the middle of nowhere where there's never been a pivot in history? They wouldn't. That's why we're getting this crash right now, 18,274, because we broke support. You go to the next one, 18,250, lowest lows. Good God.
And Ethereum just poked on through. Bitcoin probably too.
Yes, definitely Bitcoin.
There it
Status
is.
lows.
Oh, yeah. And so, probably 1,000 at a time. Go to 18 and 17. And then you need to see, though, like a 1 hour bar that is just devastation. It's, thousands on down in an hour. Like, that's not bad. The last two have been a good 500. We're down 1,000 in the last 2 hour chart, but we need to see a super big candle down to these lower levels, and just get it out now. Do it now.
I mean, it looks like it's working on it right now. I mean, God forbid, Ethereum's only down 13% today already. You know, don't see how that's not insane.
No, it's that's it. You're there. So my call, and really the big purpose of why I jumped on today, obviously the breakdown, but
Hmm.
after a lot of consideration, I think we're going to see this. I think we see these targets, 11 something, 11.5 is the exact number that I have for Bitcoin. We could see that as early as Wednesday. Ethereum at 680, yeah, Wednesday. I think Wednesday's a pivotal day. Tuesday, Wednesday is pivotal day. And as this just keeps on falling apart, when you get down there, don't be surprised. It's not an opportunity until I would get some kind of confirmation they have to hit. But God, look at that weekly candle. This is the weekly
Selling
candle.
climax. We got to find a massive selling climax. Ethereum lowest lows right now.
Yeah, there it is. And there's
937.
you're down 10, almost 10. You're down 9,000 so far in a week, and you still have a day to go.
But the month, man,
The month
down
is,
51% on Ethereum in a month. You hear me? Ethereum is down 51% this month.
yeah,
And it's we're not even done, dude.
no.
$1,000 dollars. Ethereum's down $1,000. It's at 998 losses this month.
Yeah, and it's interesting that Bitcoin. I saw something earlier today, even before this drop. Bitcoin was down 47, 8%, but 38% of that 48% happened in the last week, and that's another sign of a kind of capitulation, kind of that it's happening
Cracks.
now, crashing now. Yeah, remarkable, remarkable. Well, I'm going to finish it up on that, folks. I've been already going for like an hour and a half or so, but I'm really happy to have you on. You're going to be on tonight, obviously.
Yeah, my God, man, this keeps getting worse. I might go live in a few minutes. Who knows,
Oh,
dude? It's
yeah,
bad.
cool. I'm actually gonna go just take it easy. I'm gonna go enjoy my
You should,
afternoon
dude.
here, and I'll check in if you're on a little later. But again, thank you, and everyone that's showing up today, thank you. Check out our live stream. I'll tweet that out, our live stream from last Thursday, because again, everything that we talked about last Thursday is just happening. It happened. It started basically that night
Mm-hmm. Yep,
in
for
earnest.
sure, dude. Yeah, it was like there have now been two Black Mondays, and now we're dealing with a Black Saturday right now. I think we had a Black Saturday last Saturday, so two Black Mondays, and I think we're going on two Black Saturdays now for crypto. Yikes!
Yeah, and look at that 21st, that the date, the fact that we have sold off into every one of those 20 the solstice dates. Again, I don't like to say that because it really lends to more of the financial astrology that
Yeah,
I'm not really into. It's but more of a cycle time, like a 90-day cycle thing. I like 30 bar counts. I like looking at cycles that repeat, and this sell off into the 21st of June, March. It's a fact, and it happened. It's happened many times with on these charts that we will sell straight down for the next 3 more days, and maybe to those big targets that we've talked about that get you to, there's 11.5 right there. Doesn't seem like it's too far away. Another 40, 50, 50%, 40% down from current levels gets you to that point, and that's where I'd look at it. So, but everybody, thank you. I'm going to cut off there. Mitch, thanks again. You probably should go live soon if this keeps
yeah, man,
going.
probably
Get
crazy, dude.
some to drink and catch your breath. But everyone, go check out Mitch. You guys know where he is. He's over on Mitch Ray TA YouTube, and he'll subscribe to him. Hit me up. You're right about the should put the Bitcoin thing better, but
Bitcoin
I'll
thing better, Hut.
put up a better title maybe to get a better crew
Oh
here.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
stuff like
Try the
that.
Bitcoin live, man. When this stuff's happening, like maybe not during normal times, like normal streams, but when you're going live for the weekend and price action. You want people to be able to find you, and people are typing Bitcoin live on YouTube. And Ethereum's crashing right now. We are at 935, lowest price we've seen. 934. Good God. 18,200 on Bitcoin and falling. Yeah. I'm gonna be going live probably right as soon as you go off stream at this point. This is ridiculous, man.
I'll let you go. You guys go check Mitch out. He's going to go live next. Thank you, Mitch, for your time. Everyone else, have a great weekend. Enjoy, really. And I'll be back on Monday, 12 noon, and we'll get into it, but been pretty clear. So until then, thanks, everybody. Mitch, you have a good stream, and we
Yeah,
have a great
appreciate it,
weekend.
dude.
You got it.
Thanks for having me on, and God bless.
Amen. Peace out. Thanks again, everybody. Really quick, go over to Mitch. He's going to go live. For me, just go to harmonictrader.com. It all starts there. We'll get the Discord link up. I'm going to tweet out some more things. Catch me on Twitter. I'm Harmonic Trader. All of my stuff is there. And then Harmonic Trading materials, my books, everything is available for free at Harmonic Trader. But do get the TradingView program, because if you want to know what the automated levels look like and get an idea of where this is going, I'm looking at only at hop levels. We don't have confirmation, but the best way to do it, just send your username to hpc at sr-analyst.com, get a 2-week trial, and then look at the books, review the materials, because these patterns repeat over and over again all the same way. So until Monday, folks, hang in there. Have a great one. As always, go get them. I'll catch you Monday. Be well.